G'day, YouTube. Alright, I'll try to make it a quickish video. Been a while. Am I back? Probably not. Just a one-off video I'm throwing in there. I saw this damn app at the pawn shop for a couple of months. The Peavey 3120. They had it for $14.99 Australian. I ignored it for about 6 to 8 weeks, and then it came down to like $12.99 Australian. I thought, oh, a bit better, but 3120. I started looking up videos on 3120, thinking, is it a good amp or not? I don't know. And yeah, it appears that it is way underrated. So I offered them $1,100, and I grabbed it. They accepted that, and for me, that's a bargain. Yeah, originally, stupid me, I didn't even realise that the 3120 came after the 5150s. For some reason, in the back of my mind, I'm looking at 3120 and I'm thinking, it must have came before the 5150. You know, everyone knows the 5150 is the start of the greatest high gain tube amps, you know, from Peavey, or anyone really. And the 5150 has come out in 1992. So in my mind, I was thinking, it's an old amp. Yeah, I don't really care about it that much. But no. Yeah, it's 3120, but it's actually came out in 2009. 5150s, 1992, 6505s, and the pluses about 2006. Yeah, so the 3120 came after those. Had to give it a good clean out. It was full of cobwebs inside, and all the potentiometers were full of greasy gunk, dirt and stuff, so I had to get in there with the cleaner, and it took about at least an hour to get in there and give them a good clean so that they'd start turning properly. Otherwise it was just, when I was turning the knobs, it was like but yeah, all good now. And alright, let's do a quick little video of how it sounds, a quick comparison to the 6505 Plus, and how I've got it dialed in to this room. And yeah, stop rambling, Caddy, just get on with it, eh? Pretty sweet clean channel. Better clean channel than the 6505, that's for sure. Bit of modulation now. Just a bit of chorus and delay is all. Who cares about the clean channel, right? Actually, yeah, let's compare to the 6505 just straight off the bat. I suppose I can turn the pre down to clean it up a little bit more. And volume up. But you got shared EQ on the 6505 Plus between the green clean and the green crunch, so I can't have it dialed in perfectly the way I'd like it between all three channels, so a bit of give and take. So if I just wanted clean and red channel, I'd probably have it dialed in like this for the clean. It's lost all its bass though. Now it's boxy. It's got to be there at least at noon with the pre, I think. Bit of modulation on the 6505 Plus. So this is the yellow rhythm channel on the 3120 with no boost. And it's set on the back to loose mode. There's no presence and resonance on this amp, but there's like 3 settings in the back. Loose, tight, and mid, I think it is. But the loose setting is where it's at. Mid and tight, you think it might do something good, but it just cuts half the volume and just sounds muddy. Then you got to try to make up for it on the EQs and all that. I just keep it straight on the loose. And loose doesn't mean that it's not tight. It's still a pretty bloody tight amplifier anyway. I don't know why they did that. I'd rather presence and resonance controls on the front, but okay, this is without any boost. Just for one riff. And I've got the gain completely dialed full ball on the yellow and the red channel. Very usable gain. Maybe a little bit too bassy. When I crank the amplifier loud enough for a band in here, that kind of evens out a lot more, but playing on low volume and trying to record it so it's not clipping the freak out, it sounds a bit overkill with the bass. Is the gain doing that, or is it the bass setting? No, I think it's the setting with the bass I've got it at, because I usually use an overdrive. That bass will probably level out as well when I engage the overdrive. And there it is. If I wasn't using a boost, I'd turn the bass down a fair bit. Let's turn the boost off again for a sec. Let's see how tight it is if I just cut the bass a bit. Somewhere this has interactive controls. Man, the volume drops a fair bit when you turn the bass down. Then when you turn the bass up, the volume comes up as well. It's not just a bass control. Interesting. If I turn the bass almost completely off, interesting. What about with the mid? Yeah, same thing, man. Treble. Woo! Well, anyways, I like the settings I've got right now. With the overdrive engaged. That's the gain dimed fully up. If you put it on noon, you get this. That's the noise gate. Sorry. Turn the gain down, you can turn the gate down. Otherwise it cuts off. I keep the gain on both channels around about 3 o'clock. Quick flick between yellow and red. Same boring riff. So, again, yellow gain is on 3 o'clock. Put it on red. Very similar EQ settings. It's a little bit different because I want it to sound similar to the yellow channel. Although I think the red channel has a little bit less gain and a little bit less saturation than the yellow channel. Is that less gain or more? That doesn't sound far off, actually. Let's dime the gain. I'm sure there's less gain on the red channel. Yellow. Red. I could be mistaken, but I think ever so slightly less gain on the red channel. Not that far off, but a little less. And let's just compare quickly to the 650. What do I compare? Do I compare the yellow channel on the 3120 to the red channel or the green crunch channel? I don't know. I think the yellow channel is the higher gain one, but I think the red channel is not too far off with gain and saturation. Maybe 10 to 12, maybe 10% less, no more than 20% less. But I think it does add a bit more bass. I don't know. We'll just go through it. Let's just play something half decent at least. Might need another guitarist though. Anyone? Let's do something high gainy, I suppose. I'm on the red channel on the 6505 Plus. I don't know. Let's just go. 3120 yellow channel. Alright, to the red channel on the 3120. What do you think? And like I said, the gain is completely dimed, because I think it's a very usable gain. But for the rest of the demonstration, let's just have it on 3 o'clock, because I don't know, some people might think it's a little overkill to crank it completely. And I've got the gain dialed the same actually, so from now on I'll compare evenly, because I never felt this amp really had that much gain, nowhere near as much as 5153s and the Iconic or the JVM 410H, which is missing currently because it's getting a new PCB board, rusty, due to the previous owner, not me. Okay, one more riff each, same amount of gain, and again I've got these dialed in to sound good in the room for what I like. So the EQ controls aren't the same, they're not that far off actually, but for every amp in here I just dial it in until yes, that's the sound I like for each one, and I leave it. I don't really change it ever again. All my amps pretty much sound very similar because I do that because I know what sound I want. Like 15 amps just to sound the same. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, back to the 6505 Plus red channel. Bit of a Pantera fest today. Can't think of anything else to play. Green channel on the C505 Plus. Let's not play high gain tones on the green channel, green crunch channel on the Peavey C505, please. I mean, the pre is turned up 3 o'clock on both, but it's a crunch channel. It's no good for high gain. It's more for like on the 3120, the yellow and the red channel has a fair amount of gain. On the 6505 Plus, you know, the green crunch channel, not really F all gain really. Just good for crunchy tones. The red channel, decent amount of gain. I can play high gain tones on the 3120, on the yellow channel or the red channel happily, and there's plenty of gain to spare. Let's compare crunch and crunch. 6505 Plus crunch. Put the red channel down to about noon gain. The gain realistically is probably about down to there. Bit more volume maybe. Again in the same position on the yellow. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just messing around here. Now, lost on me friggin' settings. I could sit here all day and dial it in differently and see what other sounds I can get. You know, you want a 2-hour video? I don't. This is just the tones that I like to dial in to, no matter what amp I'm playing. You know, good crunch tone, good high gain saturated tone, and a nice pristine clean tone. I'm a simple man. Right, one more little riff and we'll get out of here. Yellow. Got gain at 3 o'clock. It's got the red channel. Now we'll go to the 6505 plus. Red channel, 6505 plus. The green channel's not really going to be good for this sort of stuff, but here it goes anyway. With the pre all the way up. Ah, forget it. It's only good for crunch, man. Oh, anyways, there you go. Try to keep it short and sweet, but it probably won't be. Yeah, just quick video just to show you how freaking good this 3120 Peavey amp sounds from 2009. Well, I think it sounds every bit as good as a 5150 or slash 6505 and plus. Yeah, man. Nice cleans. Nice gain channels. You can crank the gain all the way up and they're very usable. Can't do the same with like a 5153 or a Iconic. or the JVM 410H, which I'll have back here in a few weeks. I think it sounds every bit as good as the classics. And you can pick them up for relatively cheap. Probably 600 US. For me, yeah, about 1100 AUD. Probably way more widely available in the US though. Well, that's it. Awesome, awesome friggin' amp. Keeping that one. Good-os.